This is a story about a society that was built on a single shining metal. It's really a fable about the incredible hope that wealth can create and, well, the paralyzing fear that can follow right in its shadow. Welcome to the world of Antropolis.
It all starts, as these stories so often do, with a discovery, a bright secret, buried deep down, that seemed to promise endless riches, but ended up delivering something far more complicated.
So, our story begins way beneath the surface, down in the dark, winding tunnels of a super busy ant colony. It's here, in the quiet hum of the earth, that a single, totally unexpected glimmer of light is about to change their entire world, forever.
I mean, just imagine for a second you're a worker ant. You're digging through the dirt day in, day out. Everything is just dull, brown, familiar. And then you see it, a flicker, something that catches the torchlight, something that doesn't break or rot. It just stays perfect.
You see, the ants were used to common stones. They were absolutely everywhere, and they were brittle. But this new stuff? It was totally different. It was rare, and that alone made it special. And unlike literally everything else, it was permanent. Its shine never, ever faded. In a world where everything decays, this felt like a miracle. And so it became the ultimate symbol of value.
All right, let's fast forward in time a little bit. Gold is now the bedrock of the entire Antropolis economy. But its role is about to shift big time, from being a tool that helps trade happen to a treasure that just freezes it solid. With gold being so rare and precious, this new thought started to spread through the colony. Why would I spend my gold today when it's probably going to be worth even more tomorrow? And this one simple idea led to a huge shift. Ants started hoarding their gold, just hiding it away. The markets, which were once buzzing with life, they grew quiet. Because, when everyone is saving for the future, nobody is spending in the present.
The Queen, seeing this slowdown, she has an idea. Let's just print more leaf money to get things moving again. And hey, at first it worked. With more leaves floating around, spending picked up, and a seed for planting cost just one leaf. The economy seemed to be humming right along.
But a problem popped up, and fast. The Queen just kept printing more and more leaves to keep the economy going. Pretty soon, that exact same seed cost 2 leaves. The value of each individual leaf was already starting to nosedive.
And then 3. So here's the crucial point. The leaves themselves hadn't changed at all. They were still green, they were still crisp, but what they could buy was collapsing. And that, my friends, is inflation in its simplest form.
This brings us to the tipping point. That quiet anxiety that was bubbling just beneath the surface of Antropolis, it is about to explode into a full-blown panic.
A whisper turned into a shout that just echoed through the tunnels. Why on earth would you hold on to paper that's worth less every single day when you can hold on to something that never loses its shine? Just like that, trust in the Queen's currency completely vanished. And this led to a really strange situation. Every single ant was now trying to trade their worthless leaves for gold, hiding the precious metal away. So, on paper, the colony was wealthier than it had ever been, just overflowing with gold. But because nobody was spending a thing, the entire economy just ground to a halt. This condition actually has a name: economic paralysis. It's what happens when fear becomes way more powerful than commerce. The wealth is there, but it's frozen, buried under beds and in secret jars, doing absolutely nothing for the colony. So, with the colony totally frozen, the search for a solution begins. And it doesn't come from the Queen's authority, but from a new, clear voice of reason. The Queen, she pleaded with her citizens to bring their gold out, to start trading again. But it was just too late. One ant shouted what everyone else was thinking. See, trust, once it's broken, can't be commanded back into existence. It has to be earned. This is where a young economist named Alex comes in with a brilliant plan. The idea wasn't to fight the people's desire for gold, but to actually use it. The plan was simple, but it was powerful. Link every single leaf to a specific, guaranteed amount of gold held in the colony's vault. This meant the leaves weren't just paper anymore, they were a direct claim on something real, something tangible. It was a system built not on promises, but on cold, hard proof. With this new system finally in place, the colony begins its slow recovery, having learned a really powerful lesson about what wealth truly is.
Slowly, kind of tentatively at first, the markets reopened. Ants began to trade again, feeling confident that their leaf money was actually backed by something real. Gold was no longer a symbol of fear to be hoarded away. It was now the very foundation of trust that let the entire economy start to breathe again.
So, what does this whole story of Antropolis teach us? Well, it shows us that value often comes from rarity. It's a reminder that when people lose faith in their money, they're going to run to what they think is safe. But, and this is the most important part, it reveals that if everyone hoards that safe thing, the whole economy dies. True economic strength isn't in the metal you own, but in the trust you share.
And that brings us to the real moral of this story, doesn't it? Wealth isn't some static pile of treasure. It's a current. It's a flow of goods and services and ideas. It's what we build and what we trade, not what we hide away in the dark.
Ultimately, the story of Antropolis leaves us all with a pretty big question to think about. In our own economies, in our own lives, what do we actually value more? The tangible thing we can lock away, or that invisible but absolutely essential trust that connects us all?